Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this session. My name is Ivana Ćirković-Miladinović, and I'm a teacher of English at the Facultet of Education in Radmila. I prepared this session, this lesson, with my colleague, Radmila Milovanović. She's also a teacher at the Facultet of Education in Jagodina, and she teaches psychology. Her expertise is in communication and interaction. So this is why we have chosen the topic for today's session, the use of effective learning strategies during speaking activities in English classroom. So now I would like to hear your names, and then we will continue. Your name, please?
Milica.
Okay, Milica. Sandra. Mariana. Cristina. Evangelina. And back here? Cristina. Ivana. Ana. Okay. Ana. Maria. Biljana. Okay. Jovana. Angela. Okay, Alexandra. Usha. Tamara. Marko. Here. Natalia. Please speak up a little bit louder. Vera, yes. Teodora, thank you, Teodora. Sara. Yes, one more Sara, yes.
Maya.
And Maya. Okay, thank you guys for this. So, as I said, we will talk about effective learning strategies. So the purpose of this is that we are all interested in teaching. So, how many of you are preschool teachers? Please raise your hands. Okay. And how many of you are boarding school teachers? Okay. So, as I said, we are all interested in teaching. So this is why we will need better speaking skills in the classroom and in cooperation with our colleagues from abroad. So if we want to cooperate better with our colleagues from abroad, then we will need to speak more fluent English and to be better speakers of English as well. For that, we can use these strategies, effective strategies. So we have three categories according to Oxford. You will see here the name of the author, Rebecca Oxford. So these are the strategies for lowering down language anxiety. So do we all understand the word anxiety? So this means when we are worried about something. Yeah. So using relaxation, deep breathing or meditation, we can use deep breathing in the class. So we can breathe in and breathe out as well. Also, we can use music. We will have a video later on, and we will also have a music in the back. We can use laughter. Some people use laughter when they want to say something and they feel uneasy, so they say, yes, I can answer that question. So they smile a little bit, they use a few seconds to think about what to say next, and then they say it. Also, we can say positive sentences, such as, I can do this, or I can speak very good English, or I will be very good today in the class, and I will show what I can do. Also, we can take risks wisely. So, let me explain this one. When we talk about this one, we can say that some students would like to answer a question, but they actually avoid it during the class. So sometimes it is very wise if you try to do it, because you cannot practice language if you don't speak the language. You can reward yourself as well. Also, we can take control of our emotion and our emotional temperature. So we can take control over our body, so we can calm down with deep breathing or with laughter, and then we can say and answer the question of a teacher. Also, we can write a learning journal. That's the task I have given you at the beginning of this school year. Remember that? Yes. So, when you write your feelings in your learning journal, then you actually think about it, you reflect, and then you see what problems you might have. Also, we can use a checklist. It's a kind of a list that we make, what we have to do or what we need to do, and then we put a check. So what we finished, we put a check on it. We can talk to the teacher or to our peers about feelings in the class when you speak English, and that's also one of the strategies that we will use during our academic year. We will talk about it, and while talking about it, we will try to find the problems and solve the problems as well. Okay, so let's go right to it. Beliefs about teaching. As I said, we are all teachers. You are preschool teachers and boarding school teachers. And I would like you to take this handout, this one, you have it in your tables, and complete the following mini questionnaire. You have here a mini questionnaire about your beliefs, writing your responses to each question. So in the first column, you will write your responses, and then you will give the sheet of paper to the next person. So the next person will give comments to your ideas here in the first column. Okay? Any questions about this? No. Okay, you have 3 minutes to do this. You can talk to each other, you can help each other as well, if you want. After that, we will compare the answers in each group. I will come and help you if you need some help. While you write down your responses, I'll just go through the questions in order that we all understand them. How do you see your role in the classroom? So how do you see yourself in the future as a preschool teacher or a boarding school teacher? What teaching approach or methodology do you try to follow? So you can remember what your teachers did when you were students, and you can use those methodologies or approaches that you liked when you were a student. What resources do you make use of? So what kind of resources would you like to make use of when you start working with children in kindergarten or with young people or children in boarding schools? So this is the question about. How would you define effective teaching? So this could be also answered if you look back when you were younger, when you went to school, and you can define effective teaching if you use an example of a very good teacher. So this could be the answer for this one. Okay? Tell me when you are ready. If you have questions, ask. Okay, can you now change papers? Can you swap papers, give it to your colleague, to the person sitting next to you. And now you can give comments to your colleagues' responses. Okay? So you can say whether you agree or disagree. You can say, you can give, for example, a new idea as well. At this point you can discuss it. Maybe you can say to each other why you agree or disagree. And then we will report your thoughts, your ideas to other groups as well. Okay? Any questions?
How do we spell prepare?
Prepare.
Yes.
P-R-E-P-A-R-E.
Thank you.
Okay? Okay, so you're almost ready. Good. What about this group here? Okay, you're finished. Girls in the back, are you okay?
Yes.
So, almost done? Good. Excellent. Okay, so if you're ready, we can share your answers and you can report your ideas to other groups. So who would like to start and read us first question and, okay, you two. So read us the question first and then give us your response and then the comment that you have. Okay?
The question was, how do you see your role in the classroom? I would like to be a professor who teach students with interesting videos or interesting information which will help them to concentrate, also to appreciate their desires and to have empathy for students.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Please comment.
And the comment was?
My comment is that, by the way, she see herself like
Okay,
a
please
professor.
speak a little bit louder.
Right away, she see herself like a professor, and I think she will be a great professor.
Okay, you think she will be a great teacher or professor? Okay, thank you very much for this. What about the second one? Who would like to read the second one? Okay, second question.
What teaching approach or methodology do you try to follow? I will try to work in groups with other people like doctors, policemen, firemen, going on many festivals like presentations to improve health.
Okay, and the comment to your response was, so Katarina gave a comment, okay?
I agree with her because kids learn different things and meet a professional people, and I think that's really interesting for them.
Okay, okay. Any other comments here? From this group? No? Let's go on. So the third question, what resources do you make use of? Okay, here, please.
I would use books, internet, topics, presentations, pictures, music, and video games.
So you will use internet, music, puppets.
Yes.
What else? PowerPoint presentations?
Yes, yes.
Okay, some pictures.
Music and video games.
Okay, do you all agree with this? Are these good ideas? Okay, thank you.
Maybe books.
Okay,
Also.
also books. And
I agree
color.
with her, but maybe I can add some life experience.
Yes,
And,
true. We can use life experience.
some
Our
movies.
life experience, yes?
I said
Movies.
And
Movies.
movies as well. So what do you wanted to add?
Yes, yes, I said books.
Okay, you also said books. Good. So we can use all these materials in order to prepare adequate materials and adequate lessons for our students. And we will always have to have in mind that materials should suit the learner's needs. So we will have to adapt the material to our learners as well. So I agree with you about that as well. And the last one, how would you define effective teaching? Would like to read this one.
Can I try to answer?
Yes, you can try it. So this was also one of the strategies. Can I try? Yes, of course you can try. And when you're not so, let's say 100% sure what you're going to say next, okay, you can try, you can relax a little bit, and the teacher will help you. So if you don't know the word, the teacher will help you to continue. Yes, thank you, Angela, for that. Tell us, how would you define effective teaching?
Where students are interested for teaching,
Okay.
and
When they are motivated?
yes,
Sure.
and they try to participate in discussions.
Yes, to participate in
where
discussions.
teacher managing the lesson before class. Maybe when the lessons are easy to learn. I want to say when the lessons are adapted for
Yes. When the lessons are adapted, students will be more motivated to participate, to be active in the class, and they will also achieve better results. So that's the purpose of our teaching, to achieve better results in our students' achievement. Okay, thank you, Angela. So you see, it was not too difficult to take a risk and put up your hand and say something in English. Okay, and do you want to add something? Some other groups? Or maybe some other pairs? Yes, here? Thank you.
The question is how do you see your role in the classroom?
Okay.
I seem like a warm and always happy teacher with authority, full of respect.
Okay, so respect is also very good for the classroom, because if we show respect for our students, they will respect us as well, us as teachers. And that kind of atmosphere, positive atmosphere, is very important in the classroom. This is something I want to achieve today, to have a positive atmosphere, that we all feel free to say something, to give a comment, and not to be afraid of making a mistake. So that's very important today. So this is something I would like to focus on. Yes?
Maybe I would like to learn them to work together.
I would like to teach them
Yes,
to
teach them to work together.
to work together. Yes, to cooperate. Cooperation among our students or among our learners is also very, very important in any level. It doesn't matter the age of a learner. Cooperation is very important, especially the cooperation between a teacher and his or her students. Okay, thank you for this. So let's go on with another activity. So I would like you to take this handout. You have it on your table. This one. So I would like you to think back to when you were at school. So we will try to reflect on your school days. So the first question here in your questionnaire is, who was your best teacher and why? And the other one is, who was your worst teacher and why? We don't need to give names or anything like that, just to say what was that you really liked in teaching of a specific teacher, or the thing that you maybe didn't like while you were his or her student. Okay? So this is also pair work. So you can work in pairs, discuss it. You don't have to write anything. I want you to talk to each other and say to each other the examples of a good and bad teachers. Okay? Okay? So you can turn to your colleague. You can do it in 3. You can do it here and here. You can do it in 3 together. Yes, and here. That's it. Yes. A worse teacher. I hope that you have an idea what were your very good teachers and what they did and what are the bad qualities that we will try to avoid when we become teachers tomorrow. Okay, so who would like to give a comment and tell us something about your best teacher? Who can tell us an example of a very good teacher? Yes?
My best teacher was my teacher of history, because he was not just our teacher, he was our friend. Always want to know if we have some problem, try to help us, always, I don't know, help us, talk with us, and be friends with us.
Okay, okay. This was an example of a very good teacher. Yes?
My best teacher was a biology teacher. I think she's the best because she was so understandable and kind. Also, she had a big knowledge.
Okay. She was a very good teacher.
Yes.
She understood you, and of course you appreciated her knowledge in the area that she was teaching. Okay. Anybody else? Ivana?
I said my worst teacher.
So this is because she's using the strategy of smiling first. So of course we can use this strategy to lower down our anxiety, and then to say something that we want to say in English. So this is a very good strategy that we can use in the classroom when we feel tense or something like that. Yes, Ivana, please continue.
My worst teacher was art teacher. She comes to the class and sit down and don't interesting us. When we ask what are we doing in the class, he said, I'm interesting what we...
He was not interested in what you're going to do and what...
Yes.
And didn't give you ideas what to paint or to draw. So actually he didn't want to be involved in class.
Yes.
Is that so? Okay. Did I help you with this paraphrasing a little bit? Okay. I wanted to help you, but not to disturb your ideas. I wanted to just to help you to continue your thoughts. Okay. What about some other people here? Oh, thank you. Yes. Milica?
I had one bad teacher.
One bad teacher?
I think that she was bad because I didn't understand her. She never smiled and shout on us every day.
Okay, so this was not a very good approach. So this teacher actually didn't create a positive atmosphere in the classroom. So
yes.
That was not a very good thing to do. Okay, anybody else? Yes?
I have a bad teacher.
Please.
I have one bad teacher, a teacher of mother language, Serbian language.
Okay.
She didn't know to transfer knowledge, didn't listen what some student had to say. She had her favorites, and that's just them.
Okay.
And they had the best grades, and we were like invisible to her.
Okay.
So I think that's bad.
Okay, true. So that was a very bad approach that the daughter described. So this is something that we should avoid in our classroom tomorrow when you start working as preschool teachers or boarding school teachers, whatever. Okay, so now another task for you. So we will continue talking what makes a good teacher. So we will continue discussing this topic more in order to practice effective learning strategies in speaking English. So what we're going to do is we will watch a video. Then, while you watch a video, I would like you to focus on the qualities of a good teacher that they will mention, people who will talk in this video. So your task will be also to organize the qualities into the following three categories: skills, attitude, and knowledge. So this video will help you to hear some maybe new words, maybe the one that you already know, and you will have to focus on key expressions, key words that will explain what qualities a good teacher should possess. Okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Jackson. Welcome to Your Voice. Every school year, parents pray their children get a good teacher. And research shows parents are right. The latest studies say the quality of teacher is the dominant factor in how successful children will be in school. It's more important than money, family circumstances, or cultural backgrounds. Even in the so-called best schools, there are different outcomes in each class, and that's largely due to the teacher. Experts say poor teaching isn't just a nuisance, it's actually detrimental to your child's learning. So what makes a teacher great? Where does this greatness come from? Is it innate or is it learned? And how do parents know if the teacher is great or not? I'm joined by three experts who can help us answer these questions. Cindy Carnick-Davison teaches grade 4 and 5 at Regent Heights Public School. She was last year's winner of the Ontario Teachers Federation Award for Elementary School Teachers. Mary Coy was a teacher for many years. Then she went back to school for her PhD and is now the head of the Centre for Teacher Education and Development at the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education. And joining us via webcam from his home in Derby, England, is Richard Gerver. He won the British National Teaching Award in 2005 after taking his primary school from the brink of closure to one of the most innovative schools in the world. He's also the author of Creating Tomorrow's Schools Today. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for coming into studio. Thank you, Richard, for joining us again.
My pleasure.
Let's get right to it. What makes a teacher great? Cindy.
I think a tremendous element of care, the desire to, well, I use an expression called see their hearts sing. And that's for them to discover the joy in learning, but especially the joy in themselves.
Okay, Mary, what makes a teacher great?
For me, I think a teacher becomes great when she makes her first task in getting to know her students. I call it a getting to know you session. Understanding who they are, where they're from, what kinds of interests they have, what kinds of contributions they can have to the classroom. So it's knowing your students extremely well, knowing your subject areas very well, being a knowledgeable person around your specialty or the other subjects you have to teach. People like Cindy teach many subjects. And I think that she's a passionate learner herself. That starts with getting to know her students. It starts with the kind of lifelong learning around her specialty, but it also ends with or continues with her lifelong professional learning, whether it's with colleagues in the school collaboratively or with other peers. It never stops. I see them when they come to me as graduate students, but they've been on this journey in many other ways as well. So I think those are three key kind of variables.
Okay, Richard, what would you say? What makes a great teacher?
I mean, I would agree with both Mary and Cindy. The word that keeps coming through to me and always has really is empathy. For me, great teachers truly understand what makes their students tick. They're incredibly natural and confident around them. That's another trait, I think, of a truly great teacher. They're confident enough to be themselves. They're truly confident enough to be themselves with their kids, with their students, because let's face it, we all know that our children aren't stupid. They pick up on the vibe of how any of us are around them. And I think that ability to be relaxed, self-confident, self-assured, and for children to truly get the fact that you care about them, you're passionate about them, and you want to help them develop, it is absolutely core to any great teacher.
Okay, we'll just stop here to check. Can you follow the video? Yes. Did you understand this first part of it? Yes. So, are there any unfamiliar words that you want us to go through and then continue listening? So, did you understand the word empathy? Do you know that word? Empathy. So, how can we explain this word, empathy? We have that word in Serbian. What's the translation? How we translate the word empathy? Okay, and we also use empathia for that specific word, empathy, yes. So do you understand that? So when we have feelings for others, when we want to support others, when they are in a bad situation, sometimes in a good situation, but usually in bad situations, we need to support colleagues, friends, family, etc. So that's empathy. And permanent learning. So Mary Coy mentioned permanent learning. So do we all understand that phrase? What could that be? No?
Lifelong.
Yeah, lifelong learning. Permanent learning means lifelong learning. So we learn all the time. So we learn and educate ourselves for our future profession. So we don't stop education and learning when we finish school. So that's permanent learning. So even though we finish our school, we still learn, read texts, for example, read texts in English in order to find out what are the novice ideas abroad, or to keep up with new technologies. So we will have to use English as a foreign language. For that, we will have to use speaking skills in English in order to cooperate with our colleagues abroad. So this is also permanent learning. Okay, we will continue the second part, and then we will discuss about the whole bit.
Mary, you teach teachers. Can you tell which ones will excel?
That's a really good question. I've thought quite a bit about it. I think that you can tell in pre-service. So this is the teacher education program, because I teach in both programs. You can really tell when someone has a heart for teaching. And I think it makes an enormous difference in the long run. We can't make great teachers. Great teachers become great. They start with something. There's a spark, a fire, an openness, a flexibility, an eagerness to make a difference. That's there, and you can tell that if this fire is stoked, you know, and if it's developed, then indeed I expect some of those people will become great teachers. In graduate school, it's much easier to tell. Some of them have been teaching for 20 years, some of them for 5 years, many of them actually for more than 10 years. So they've had an opportunity to hone their art. And I liked Richard's comment that caring makes all the difference. When I asked a number of students, so what made your great teachers great? And they talk about people who listen, people who care, people who make hold a very high standard to my learning, people who take an interest in my life beyond the classroom, people who have expectations that expect me to succeed are key. So it's but much easier to tell when they tell their stories, these teachers in my graduate classes, of what kinds of things they do with their students. It's also very good. I model probably similar things in both programs, but I model it's understood differently with somebody who's been in the classroom for a number of years than somebody who's anticipating going into a classroom.
Sure. Okay, now.
Okay, we will stop here now, and I would like you to put your ideas on these big sheets of paper. So make a poster, and after you finish with keywords, you can put keywords here in the poster, and then we'll discuss about the important things that you think are the most valuable things, qualities a teacher should possess. And before that, I would like you to come here and take one slip of paper in color. So this is how we're going to make groups and make posters after that. Okay? So please come and take one slip of paper. Thank you. Take these slips of papers, save them for later because you will use them for comments. So make groups, okay? Here, it can be red group, green group, okay? And yellow group here. So red group is over there, you can go over there. And pink group, yes, pink group. Let me find. So your colleagues are over there. Pink group is over there. Okay. Please make posters focusing on the qualities a teacher should possess. Okay? then we will start presenting. I will have to remind you of these effective learning strategies. So while you present your posters, you can use some of these strategies later on. Okay? I hope that 3 minutes will be enough for this. Okay? Okay. Okay, this group is ready. So while you're completing, please have a seat. This group is ready, so they will tell us what are the skills that they find most important for a teacher to possess. So you can stand here and turn it towards your colleagues and tell us what are those skills that you find most important. Okay?
Most important skills is motivated, enjoying teaching.
A teacher to be motivated to do his job.
Yes.
Okay.
Self-confidence.
Care, passion, and individual learning.
So those are the most important qualities in your opinion. Okay. What else? You have something over there? Joy?
Joy in teaching.
Okay, joy in teaching and care. Good. Okay, thank you very much. So you can put your poster over there. Yes? You can put it here, whatever. Okay. And who's ready as well? Remember that you can use these strategies: relaxation, deep breathing, music or laughter as well. Also, you can say positive sentences like, I can do this, I want to speak English. Also, you can write your learning journal and reflect upon this session later on. And of course, you can talk to your teacher or your peers about your feelings. Okay, can we hear your poster? Thank you, girls. So you can stand over there and present it to others. Who will present it? Okay, you will? Okay, so before you start, maybe it will help you to breathe in and breathe out. Okay, and use your laughter as well. So tell us the skills.
Skills, care, desire, joy in learning, and getting to know your students.
Okay, what about the attitude? What kind of attitude a teacher should have? Okay.
Empathy.
Good.
Passion. Positive attitude.
Yes.
Maybe some relaxed.
Okay.
Confidence.
Confidence. True. What about the knowledge? What do you have for knowledge?
For knowledge, they have a lifelong learner, passionate team, and permanent knowledge.
Okay. Okay. Do you agree with your colleagues here? Do you all agree?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. You can put your poster over there. The next group, please hurry up. Please hurry up a little bit. Thank you. Okay, so what do you have? What are those skills that you find most important?
Teachers need to know their students, to be knowledgeable, to be confident teacher, and passionate learner.
Okay. Next.
Attitude. The teacher needs to have empathy for their students, thinking about students, joy in learning, to have expectation from their students, believe in them, and to respect them, of course.
Okay.
Knowledge, to be lifelong learning, knowing to prepare material for class, and to know subject who teach.
To know the subject that he or she teaches, yes, good.
The teacher can have a best friend kind of relationship with the students, but try to obtain that comfort environment for everyone. Teacher must understand how little brain around him work. In my opinion, that's what makes everything better communication between more experienced ones and younger ones, filled with enthusiasm.
Okay, filled with enthusiasm, good. So you used your notes to speak better, to be more fluent. Of course, we can do that as well. Thank you guys for this one. I would like to ask the girls in the back, do you have some new ideas? Maybe just to add some new ideas. If you have something new that they didn't mention, the group before you. So do you have anything new to add? Okay, so you can turn it towards us. So let's check it. Have a heart for teaching, that's a very good sentence. Self-awareness, self-confidence, of course, energy, that's something, yeah, desire, that you, passion and caring for teaching, that's very good. Okay, and what about this group? Just turn your poster towards us. Okay.
Agree to other groups.
You
agree to other
okay.
groups.
Do you have something new?
Prepared for class and care and desire to teach.
Okay. Okay. Gift to know students. Yes, that's a very special gift. And you mentioned something new that they didn't mention earlier, to be prepared for the class. So that's very good idea as well. Okay. So let's finish this up. So how would you assess this session? What do you think? Is it possible that these strategies, effective learning strategies, can help you improve your speaking skills? What about this group here? So, Christina, can these strategies help you to improve your speaking skills?
Yes, the strategies can help us
to improve
our English to be better.
Yes, to improve your skills and to make your English be better. Okay. Anybody here? Dušan, what do you think? Is it possible that these strategies can help you to speak fluent English?
This possible.
No ideas?
No.
Okay, somebody can help you? Yes?
I don't know about these strategies, so now that I know, I can speak freely because I can breathe and smile if I do something wrong.
Okay.
Or something like that. Smile to myself, and I feel confident about that.
Okay, thank you. And it is very important that you don't feel afraid of making a mistake in front of others. So a very good atmosphere, positive atmosphere in the classroom is also very, very important for this.
Friendly.
Sorry, what's
friendly?
Yeah, friendly atmosphere is very important in terms of improving your self-confidence, self-esteem, self-assurance. So this is something that I wanted you to remember when you are asked to answer a question in English. Okay, so you can use your slips of paper, those slips of paper you have in your tables to evaluate this session and say how important you find these strategies, or say how this session helped you to think about and improve your speaking skills in English. And the last slide I just want to draw your attention to is this sentence. So, since you are future teachers, I would like this faculty to be your lighthouse in your way of improving your teaching. So, feel here very comfortable and work in a positive atmosphere in order to achieve this. And remember, as we heard in the video, we don't make great teachers. Teachers become great. So we will have to put a lot of effort in becoming great teachers. Thank you very much for your attention.